dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Brandon Robinson. Lacey having a little technical trouble now. It's just one of those days here, but it is 6:33, and let's take a look at that forecast this morning. We're going to continue to see, again, just some moisture off to our north. I don't think a lot of that's reaching the ground this morning on the satellite and radar. It's going to be a beautiful day to start the day here on this Friday outside the WYMT studios as the sun's coming up. No clouds here just yet, but that trend will change as we head deeper into the forecast period. Temperatures starting out in the 30s and 40s this morning. 32 there in Harlan and Middlesboro, 30 in Jonesville, and we're seeing 41 in Jackson and Hazard. Some of the warmer spots there this morning. 43 in Wise is the warmest spot. So a little extra on your coffee meter as you head out the door today. You won't need it for too long because temperatures will get into the upper 60s later. Frost this morning in some spots. It's patchy. Sun and clouds later, but those clouds will start to increase ahead of the cold front tonight. All right, let's go to news now with the number of damage assessments rising in the Commonwealth from heavy winds this past weekend. More help is needed, and that is what one Hazard native came home to do. We went with the roof inspection company yesterday to learn more.
As debris is cleared, homeowners begin the process of seeing what damage was left behind.
Your home is your most important asset that you have, so you want to protect it.
That is Dwayne Davidson. He is the co-owner of AOK Roofing and Exteriors, a Hazard native who now lives more than 100 miles away, coming back to help homeowners through the claims process as companies are flooded with claims.
We contact the adjusters and the insurance companies directly to help them. We're already dealing with a stressful time.
First, they identify noticeable damage.
750 vents.
Missing or lifting shingles, measuring the roof.
19, maybe you don't have a leak now and it could start leaking in a few days.
Helping to identify trouble areas.
We just want to be here to help ease the burden.
Offering completely free inspections and estimates. Estimates from this storm higher than normal.
$13,000, $14,000.
You don't see storm damage like this very often. You know, you're kind of in the mountains, which kind of cuts down on the straight line wind.
Completing the process, practicing social distancing, leaving your claim in your mailbox. In Hazard, Lacey Roberts, WYMT Mountain News.
Davidson says that although your estimate may seem high, if you have insurance, then you should only have to pay your deductible. And with the coronavirus pandemic and recent power outages, feeding kids through schools has become more difficult. Several schools in Leslie County still do not have power, which made them not able to deliver meals 3 days this week. Yesterday was the first day that they could offer meals through a curbside service. Heather Gay, principal at Mountain View Elementary, says feeding kids is a top priority.
And unfortunately, we can't run the buses and deliver those meals out today, but we've tried our best to get the information out and the word out to all over the community.
Any child that is 18 years or younger is able to receive a meal. Meals were given out at Mountain View Elementary, Leslie County High School, and W.B. Muncie Elementary. And work started yesterday to fix a damaged bridge in Prestonsburg. State crews spent much of the day removing damaged asphalt. Weather permitting, the maintenance crew will pour concrete to repair the bridge surface later today. To make sure the concrete sets well, the bridge will remain closed until at least Monday. And we now know more about a woman hit and killed while trying to cross a Floyd County road on Wednesday. Police say it happened just before 10 p.m. on Kentucky 114 west of the city limits. Police say 39-year-old Leanne Shortridge was hit while crossing the road. She was taken to Highlands ARH where she was pronounced dead. Drugs or alcohol are not suspected in the crash at this time.
Eastern Kentucky has ties to the COVID-19 pandemic. In New York, Floyd County native Whitney Smith works at NYU Winthrop Hospital. She's a traveling nurse and recently finished a contract at a hospital in West Virginia. She tells us why she chose to move to New York and why she decided to work with COVID-19 patients.
there's just so much need right now, and I had the availability. I don't have kids or anything, so I just decided there was a very good chance that I was going to be exposed to COVID no matter where I was, so I might as well go ahead and go to the heart of it where they need the most people.
Smith says this pandemic will eventually be over and we should all try to remain positive during this time. With social distancing guidelines and no gatherings of more than 10 people, people are trying to get creative to have celebrations and parties. As a 12-year-old, not being able to have a birthday party is upsetting, so in Clay County, Morgan Parsley thought it would be just another day at home. But her grandmother had the chance to surprise her granddaughter by planning a parade for her special day.
We figured we'd do this, and we asked some of the local law enforcement and the firefighters if they would be willing to do like a little parade for her.
Yeah, I was surprised about it. I didn't even know about it. My heart was beating and I couldn't even speak.
That's an awesome story. Manchester Police, Clay County Sheriff's deputies, and the Manchester Fire Department all participated in the impromptu party. One Harlan County native is working as a firefighter in Asheville, North Carolina. As an EMT and firefighter, he responds to several calls each day for COVID-19 patients. WYMT's Hannah Reynolds talked to him about how one person back home in Harlan is helping keep him safe.
I mean, the keywords on the phone call when people call 911, like fevers, difficulty breathing, chest pains.
Each and every call.
I've been on 6 or 7 calls that have been COVID patients.
A risk.
It's like almost like a hazmat response, because it's a big deal. It's very easily transmitted, so we're trying to avoid all patient contact. We dispose our bags, we dispose of our gear immediately after the call.
With the shortage of N95 masks, Vince's wife started looking for alternatives. The answer?
I could be sent a state so far. Alabama, Mississippi, Texas.
Across the state border back in Vince's hometown of Harlan.
I think she saw my Facebook because I used the Kentucky group.
And when she sent them, not only did she do so for free.
So I spent one night, spent about 15 on that. Like I said, they all have a co-worker. If one desperate need it, that means the other one will need it. I'm just like, I'm not smart, but I'm just going to use my common sense. I wish I could make a minute. I wish I could pray like a prayer, just keep praying out. You know, I don't mind to make everybody enough warm. Because like I said, it gives people hope, it gives people comfortable.
And even though she couldn't make $1 million, those that she could meant the world to Asheville, even if they did have UK on them.
Those guys aren't really UK people, but I know I know the meaning behind it. So they were excited. They were super excited.
Teaming up for those on the front line. Hannah Reynolds, WYMT Mountain News.
Joyce's goal is to make 1,000 masks, and she's already passed the 800 mark. A 99-year-old war veteran in England has raised more than £16 million, or that's $20 million, for UK's National Health Service by walking 100 lengths of his garden. Tom Morris from West Yorkshire in northern England. Moore started his Garden Challenge fundraiser back on April the 8th. He was initially hoping to raise just $1,200, funds for staff, volunteers, and patients affected by the coronavirus crisis. Moore turns 100 later this month. He served in the British Army during World War II. Thank you for joining us on Mountain News this morning. Coming up, a Walmart employee here in Hazard tested positive for COVID-19, and health officials are asking anyone who has shopped there recently to keep track of potential symptoms.